What's up, guys, and welcome to another video. Today's video technically is going to be part 2, but it's also going to be a comparison video. As you can see, I am on the Switch, and it looks like there is no update just yet. Hold on. Store update. Nope, I'm on the latest one. So it looks like there is no setting changes for it, but I want to show kind of like the difference. So I'm going to be switching between this one and the PC version. So for me, this one actually looks a little bit like off. Whereas if we're looking at this one, it looks a lot cleaner. Let me actually go into a stage real quick. Hope there's not a cutscene. Okay. There is no cutscene. It's whatever. So yeah, it looks like, if you look at my character, you can see she is detailed, where on the Switch, with the kind of lagginess, you can kind of tell it's more choppy. Oh, let me switch over to the Switch real quick. I do not have a hotkey to switch between this and this, so I'm doing it the most jankiest way. So yeah, but at least my voice is still being recorded. But yeah, here's the Switch version. Just a little choppy. If I don't move, it looks a little cleaner, but it's whenever you move that's when it becomes really fuzzy. And it did not help being on handheld mode. It just didn't help at all. And I can't configure the controls. I mean, I could probably do it within the Switch itself, but not being able to do it in the game, I'm not sure if they would be able to actually make that happen. But it's whatever. But yeah, just the differences here is astounding graphically wise, because this is kind of like a downgrade, kind of like what a little worse than what the beta looked like, honestly. But in all fairness, it is hardware limitations of the Switch, but then you get the Zelda and Pokemon, which terrible example for the newest Pokemon, but you go Legend Arceus, beautiful, not including the mountains. But yeah, things could be done, definitely updating the graphics and whatnot, because this is hard, honestly, for me to look at. I don't know about anybody else, but for me it is a bit hard to look at and just not pleasing to the eye. It actually hurts a bit. And yeah, so we've already seen me beat this trial level. I'm just showing what I'm seeing from this one. But yeah, it's a bit fuzzy. I think, can't really tell from my recording screen, but from where I'm looking, it's definitely not the best. I would say between 420 and 720, 480 and 720p, somewhere in between there. It's not terrible, but it's not like great. And just the frame rate is not 100% the best. I think it's running at maybe 30 frames, where on the computer it runs it. I'm just looking at the screen and I'll boot over to it. It looks, just looking at the flowers and whatnot, I mean, you can definitely tell the difference between this and this. Just incredible of a difference. I'm not sure how much I like the Switch version, and that is the version that I decided to get from the Kickstarter. And I'm not too upset with it. I got to beta test it on the computer, so that was my first initial interaction with it. So it's not something that I'm gonna be like, yeah, I can't handle the Switch. Can I have the PC version for free? It's like, no. I went ahead and bought the PC version because I, one, really loved the game during the beta, and I absolutely completed it. I think I missed like one thing for the, you see the checkerboard tokens, which is 0 for 0 on this one. However, for the PC version, the map that we're on is 0 for 10. There's 10 of them somewhere. Whoa. Didn't realize that. That's funny. There's like a ledge here, which, okay, it didn't mean anything. But yeah. Nah, there's not going to be audio for a second on this one. And for sure, we're going to come back to here on its own video and complete it. But I wanted to make this video in doing the comparison, because for the PC, you can actually go into options, and my button layout is all wonky because of switching from PC to Switch. Frame rate limit is at 120, which I'm guessing it's hitting. Definitely. Full screen, yes. VSync, I actually want to see what that looks like. Flying. Not seeing too much of a difference. I mean, I might actually see a bit of a difference, but not a whole lot of difference. VSync doesn't really show too much for me. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. Applying VSync, which I think it applied. Yeah. Now that it's actually applied, I'm not seeing too much of a difference. So, actually, I might be seeing a slight just a slight difference from what I can see. So, yeah. But yeah, that's the difference. I'm not exactly thrilled with how the Switch port came out, and it just hurts my eyes right now. I don't know why. I can't understand why it came out like this. But having my my controls backwards a little bit, it's weird. But getting back into it and actually finishing the tutorial and that first the tutorial round and the first first stage, which technically what's on the PC is the first stage. This is the tutorial first stage kind of thing. I'm actually I am back in the rhythm, so that's at least better. But for sure, I cannot play this handheld, not because of the graphics. It's not the graphics, it's the Joy-Cons. Whenever I'm doing this thing, where I'm dashing and jumping a lot, I have to have the bigger buttons because fat finger or a fat thumb. I kind of just rest my finger on there, and doesn't really work out. Doesn't really work out on the Joy-Cons because the Joy-Cons are just so small. So my Switch, I use a Ghoulie Kit King Kong 2 controller, which honestly is much better than a Pro Controller. And then for the PC, I just use a regular Xbox One controller. That's a wired one. I got the Afterglow one, which works perfectly fine for me. But yeah. So the difference is there is no options settings in the Switch version as of yet. I don't know about the Xbox or the PlayStation. I'm pretty sure they probably put in an option because there you can kind of easily change things up where the Switch is a bit different. I'm pretty sure they'll come in with an options area later, but as of right now there is not one. And there's also not any multiple save files on the Switch. There is on the PC, so there's another thing. So if you're just wanting to play the game and you have a Switch and a PC, I would say go with the PC version. It looks a lot better, but if you're wanting it for more portability, go ahead and go for the Switch. You're gonna lose some of the graphics and some of your frame rate, but you're gonna be able to play the game. Absolutely. I'm gonna more than likely finish it on both of them. I'm not gonna put in my final judgment until then, which was gonna be until the end of this series, more than likely. But yeah, choose whichever one you want. Personally, I would say go for the PC version, because of how smooth and how clean it looks. And again, I am running on pretty poor hardware. I can actually check what my hardware actually is, or at least my graphics card. Let me go here. System about. Okay, so I'm running installed RAM 32. No, that's actually wrong. My computer is working right now. What the heck? Okay, it says I'm running at 32 gigs of RAM, which I'm pretty sure I should be running at 64. I'd have to look at that again. That's not what I want. Not giving me my graphics card. I know it's in the 10 series. Hold on just one moment. Video control panel. Where are you gonna pop up? Over there. Okay. All right. So I am running a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1063 gigs, which is not the best. And some of the games that I've tried to play on this have run pretty hard on it. So there's that. But yeah. I'm running on a really old graphics card, and it's not even a good version of it. It is a pre-built computer that had the bare basic graphics card style you could get, which is just a PVC board with a fan on it. There you go. The newest graphics card I'm going to get is going to be nice. Has metal encasing, so it disperses some of the heat as well as fans. So it's going to be a lot better. But yeah, you can run this on a decently iffy computer as long as you're not running it on anything older than a 1000 series. If you're running on a 2000 or 3000 series, you're perfectly fine. Like, this is a 1000 series and it's running perfectly fine. we saw a little bit of frame rate, but that was just the initial startup, yada yada. And I don't think we're gonna see much of anything out of that again, because during the beta I didn't see a whole lot of that, and the beta is when you would most likely see a lot of that. And I did see a bit of it during the beta, but it wasn't a whole lot to really write home about. So if anything, they've already ironed out a lot of that, optimized it more. It's just the Switch version, because they ported it over from the PC to the Switch, it has problems. Like a lot of things that was ported over from the PC to the Switch. But hopefully they iron that out later and get that solved, because at the moment it does kind of hurt me to play on the Switch, and I will play on the Switch, but it hurts my eyes a bit. So I'm gonna do my series on the PC version. In the background, when I'm not recording, I'll try and get through it on the Switch version, so that way I have a full beginning to end on both, on how it works for both systems. I cannot play it on the PlayStation or the Xbox. I do not own Xbox Series X or a PS5. Sorry, I just don't want to spend the money on those. I'm not the biggest PlayStation fan, and I'm not gonna fork over the money for an Xbox that I don't want right now. I have my PC. I'm perfectly fine with it. So yeah. Anyways, I think that's gonna do it with the comparison video. It's a little bit of a weird one, because there's not too much to compare towards, because I'm comparing just the graphics, because the control scheme, they pretty much tried to make it as close to the same for the two systems. It's just on the PC you can change how you want the controls to work, which I did, and I finally got it to where I wanted it. Whereas on the Switch, you can't really change the controls unless you go into the Switch settings itself, which I probably will try to do, but whatever. Yeah. Anyways, that's gonna do it. Sorry for the randomness of the video, or the non-informational of the video, except the information on my computer. But yeah, that if you want the game, get it. I would say get it for the PC, but you can get it for either of the two. Again, I'm not gonna give any advice on the PlayStation or the Xbox. I don't own those. I will not give input on those. I can only give input on what I have, which is the Switch and the PC. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day or night, depending on where you are in the world and when you are watching this. Bye.